Well, UNM Athletics is back in the news. Of course, former athletic director Paul Krebs has been indicted on 7 felony counts related to that golf trip to Scotland for boosters. That ahead of what would have been a public hearing on the same matter. But earlier this week, the Daily Lobo wrote about President Garnett Stokes taking $300,000 of discretionary money to make men's soccer and men's and women's skiing into club sports. We'll explain that in a second. You'll remember those programs were cut after both gender equality and financial problems at UNM Athletics, and restoring those sports may have, as they say, good optics, Daniel, but they're club sports. They're not NCAA sanctioned. They don't have scholarships. They don't have paid coaching. What's the point here? I don't get what's going on. Why is UNM?
I just think it's another way for UNM to throw a bone and think they're above the fray. I mean, clearly the two most successful programs. You look at what's happening with the United team. UNM soccer was ranked nationally. Men's soccer was ranked nationally.
Yep.
Ski teams won national championships. They attracted people from all over the state and the country. And, now we're going to give them a club sport status. And now we announced that the football team is staying in hotels again the night before the football game.
I forgot about that.
Hopefully they'll win 3 games this year. It's bizarro world at the end of the day. And I think that, the people should be outraged. And I think, to me, this is almost like, separate but equal. Hey, we're not going to have sports, but you guys can go play over there and do what you want to do. And we'll give you we'll put you in the Daily Lobo every once in a while.
Right. 300,000, Dee Dee. It's amazing. That's a lot of money. But that's ostensibly for 1 year.
Yeah,
what
it doesn't seem to be recurring.
Right.
Doesn't seem to be. This is a solution to a PR problem. That's what I think it is. And, ultimately, I guess they're going to go with a tin cup and beg to the ASUNM each year for funding.
Right.
And we'll see how far they get.
It'll never be enough either.
It's true.
But it also means someone else is going to get cut in order for them to get $300,000.
That's right, again. The ski team. I have to imagine, we were talking in the production offices a little bit earlier. If you are that good that you can potentially get a scholarship to a ski team, a university, you're not coming to UNM. You're going where there are, ski mountains and, people are looking for these types of talent and all that kind of thing. Why the ski team? Why do this?
Look, I think that funding of sports and universities it's such a convoluted issue. My mind automatically goes to the first generation college students like myself that are just trying to make it in this giant system, and there's always been a conflict between funding a football program over academics, and the graduate students are talking about unionizing on UNM campus right now because of they're fighting for the dignity of the work that they do, and I think it comes down to what we prioritize. Do we prioritize a quality education? Do we prioritize the college experience? Do we prioritize generating revenue that helps support all of those other things? And so I don't know. We just need to take a look at what universities are for, who they're working for, who they're not working for, and we should probably invest more money in who they're not working for.
Good point there. Senator, I mentioned Paul Krebs. Let's get right to that, shall we? I want to reach back a quote from then University President Chowkey Abdallah, who said Mr. Krebs displayed, quote, outstanding leadership of UNM athletics. His tenure will go down as the most productive and successful in school history. And I'm just curious, this seemed to be, I don't want to make an accusation here, but it almost seemed like Mr. Krebs was protected at the end of it all. Do you know what I mean? Like, this thing was blowing up, and you still had language like this out there from the university. It was a very strange time, wasn't it?
It was a strange time, but I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Krebs a number of different times. Extremely personable person, well-liked, appeared to be doing a very good job at the athletic department. So I think nobody wanted him to be guilty of, and certainly not
That's fair. Yeah.
these kinds of crimes that we're talking about. I think that a couple points that came to mind for me is, would there have been the same kind of hoopla if he had taken these potential donors to Pebble Beach? Still in the United States, but let me tell you, it would have cost about the same amount of money.
That's right.
Because donors expect perks.
Right.
And potential donors, if you're wooing somebody for big dollars, then you have to go out of your way a little bit. we need to perhaps educate our donors that we're not the University of Alabama, we're not Clemson, we're not OU.
Yeah.
We're the university.
Yeah, but I think the problem also, though, is that going out and trying to raise money is one thing. When you find out that your entire family went on the trip, your father-in-law went on the trip, you're sending out emails that say, look, the other thing is that, everybody wants to blame Paul Krebs, which he clearly is at fault for this. Where are the Board of Regents? The guy never made budget. Never made budget.
Big league.
And you're
like it wasn't even
it
close.
wasn't like, hey,
Right.
it's a $3 million budget. He had $2.9 million.
Right.
The guy was way off, and clearly the president that was going out read a statement that was written by Paul Krebs and his staff. And, it begs the question is who's guarding the hen house, right? We have a Board of Regents that's supposed to be looking over this stuff. Clearly failed during this time.
Right.
I don't know how you can be getting a budget report, have a finance committee, have people giving you the budget and say, hey, look, we're going to be millions of dollars in the hole. Right. We're okay, keep going. Right. We're okay, keep going. We're okay, keep going.
It's amazing the power they
have.
Right.
Or you can, but here's the thing. You don't have to be. You don't have to be a financial expert. We've all been in the legislature. We've all been in businesses, done things. When someone comes to me the first time and sets a budget, I'm going to rely on you, Gene. You set the budget. Next year, when you were way off one way or the other, my questions, I may not be a budget expert. I'll be like, Gene, you set the budget at $1 million, you made $4 million.
That's right.
Why are we not raising it to $4 million? Right. Or you set it at $4 million and you made $1 million, maybe we should dial it down a little bit. It seemed like the athletic department had carte blanche to walk in and say, our budget is here, and we didn't reach it, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to say we're going to sell $4 million. It didn't take a rocket science to say, in order for you to make budget, you got to fill the stadium for football every game, and you're averaging 4,000 people a game. How are you going to do that? What's your plan?
Whether he's likable or not doesn't really matter. What's happening is that the fraud, waste, and abuse have eroded the trust of students, of families, of faculty, of graduate students in our university system as a whole. And I think, Dan, you make a good point that a lot of those regents were political appointees of Governor Martinez, and there have been a lot of important conversations and proposals at the legislature to do regent reform. That's right. Because our university system is broken, and it starts with the people.
So remember,
who are guarding
on that there. Good last note right there. Sorry, I'm out of time. We'll have to hold it there. The group will be back one more time. After the break, we look at the state's response to chemicals used by the military that have seeped into groundwater around military bases here in New Mexico.